What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. I love logging in and seeing questions and everything already. This is very, very cool. Love the support. Love all the hype from you guys. It's been a little bit, actually, since we've had a live stream. Had a lot of time on the road. Just got back from Texas. Went out to Big Bend with Toyota and also Lexus. So kind of different video coming with that. It's going to be more of a lifestyle kind of vlog video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And then what the heck was I doing before that? I was sick. I know that much. Forget what I did. I'm brain farting. But anyways, we're back for a little bit. And then May is going to have quite a bit of content and trips as well, or April too. April? Yeah, April, and then going into May as well. I can't believe that we're already in March. It's absolutely crazy. Q1 of this year is almost over with, which is absolutely wild. But if you guys are new to the live streams, basically we just BS for a little bit in the beginning. We let all these questions and people pile on in, and then you can ask whatever questions you guys want. So it could be about cars, it could be about Toyota, it could be about life. Whatever you want, we have pretty much covered it here on the live stream to the best of my ability and also knowledge. So when you guys ask a question, I'll just throw it up on the screen like this. Blue STI guy. I always say blue STI guy, but it's not blue STI guy. But if I don't answer your question, don't think that I'm ignoring you. Don't think that I hate you. We usually get 10 to 15 minutes behind. So you don't have to watch the live stream. You can just hear it in the background if you guys got stuff going on your Tuesday. But yeah, this is how the questions go. And if you want, you can totally donate. You do not have to. YouTube is a free platform, and I hope you guys enjoy the free platform of YouTube. But if you need your question or you want your question answered right away, and you also want to help support the channel, you can donate. So Blue STI, what is up, man? Says, what's up, John? I just got a new 4Runner. Congrats. It's nice compared to my 2020. Are you happy with the plus 25 offset? Do you think plus 25 is better like Westcott is promoting? So it depends on the tire that you are going to use on your vehicle. Westcott is doing plus 35s because a lot of the vehicles that they are doing are a 12.5-inch wide tire. If I did a 12.5-inch wide tire on my 4Runner, then a plus 35 offset would probably be a good one. But my tires that I have on my 4Runner are only about 11.5 inches wide. So since the tire's not as wide, it's not going to poke out as far. That's why I went with plus 25s, which I am beyond stoked with how the 4Runner is so far. It's a very OEM plus build, and we're going to continue to build up the 4Runner here this week and next week. And then eventually, once I'm done with all the Prinsu stuff that's on it, whoever is next in the lineup to showcase products onto the 4Runner, I will show you guys. But congrats, man. That's freaking awesome. Mr. Sunjeev says, hey, John, are you selling the Land Cruiser? And second question, what is the difference between Tundra Tier D Off-Road versus 1794 edition? If you are selling the Land Cruiser, what car will you be buying? So if we do sell the Land Cruiser, which it is potentially leaving maybe in 2 months, 2 to 3 months. I want to have it for a full year. I don't really know if anything will replace it. It will kind of be nice to not have a $1,000 car payment and just get rid of the Land Cruiser and really focus on the 4Runner and the Tacoma Tier D Pro. Hopefully by that time too, the Tundra is fully supercharged, and we are trying to actively purchase a property out west as well. So not having some car payments for a little bit will be nice while we start to establish stuff out there. My wife and I, we've been talking about it a lot. It was going to be Tampa for a while, but that really would, this sounds kind of bad, that would have benefited Toyota a lot if we moved to Tampa area, just because there's a lot of cars that I could review in that area from a press vehicle perspective. But by moving out west, since Toyota's not really having a lot of new cars, right, lately, because they've already revealed a lot of them, I could really focus on more lifestyle stuff out there, actually using the vehicles, off-roading, camping, doing all that stuff, and then also still doing some Florida stuff too. So if we do sell the Land Cruiser, when we sell the Land Cruiser, nothing will probably replace it immediately. but it would be nice to eventually get a GX. As for TRD Off-Road, all that does is add rear locker, multi-terrain select, crawl control. 1794 edition is just a trim level, but you can get a 1794 as a TRD Off-Road and add that stuff. So everyone jumping in, what is up, man? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Keep in mind, if you guys are asking questions, I will be a couple minutes behind, as I love to give everyone just, not a half-assed answer. Abe says, hey, John, I just bought a TRD Off-Road Premium a few days ago. I was wondering if you know any brands for an infotainment screen protector. It's fingerprint galore. So check out some of my videos that I did on the Tundra from Screen Protect. Protec, I believe, is how you pronounce the company. I should still have a discount with them. They have an anti-glare screen, which is kind of like a matte finish. And then they also have a clear HD screen protector. If you purchase one for the Tundra and also Tacoma, I think that they're the absolute same. They should fit on the 4Runners. So Screen Protect, just type in like Screen Protect TRD John. You'll see the video, you'll see my affiliate link and also a discount code there too. I liked the matte one because it really does not do fingerprints. And honestly, I may reach out to Screen Protect to do that for the 4Runner because it has been a little bit since I collaborated with them. Thoughts on TRD Sport versus Limited? Are there any major differences? Interior of the Limited is honestly one of the best for the 4Runner if we're talking about the new 4Runner. Even Tacoma, if you go into the Limited, a lot of nice soft touch materials on the inside. The outside is pretty close to the same, and you don't get a hood scoop on the Limited. But honestly, like I would probably pick a Limited over the TRD Sport just because it's not that much more money. You can also get it for full-time four-wheel drive, and if you want, you could get a Limited with a third row seat, Michael. Noah, what is up, dude? Says, have you done anything else to your 6th Gen 4Runner since the last video you posted about it? Oh, yeah, that's what I did. I went camping with it at the Save Show, came back for a day, and then I was in Big Bend. So, no, I have not touched the 4Runner since. My wife has actually been driving it, and she says that she likes the 4Runner a little bit more than the Land Cruiser. So maybe we'll get her in the Land Cruiser versus 4Runner video to see what she likes about the Land Cruiser and why she told me she likes the 4Runner a little bit better the more she drives it. Just like I said on my Instagram, I said the more that I drive this 4Runner, the more I'm actually really starting to like it. So the Land Cruiser has been sitting in the garage. Maybe it's because the 4Runner's sitting outside in the driveway right now and it's more easily accessible for her to drive, but she's been driving it, guys, so she enjoys it, that is for sure. But no, I have not done any extra modifications to the 4Runner yet since that last video. The suspension did just come in from Peak, so we're going to try that out first. And then also the rock sliders came in from CBI, so we will be putting those on as well. Lil Stogie bruh says, when should the pros be hitting the dealership lots? They are already landed, I believe, in the West Coast. They are getting them first, obviously, but I have seen some dudes on the 6th Gen 4Runner Club, I believe is the Facebook page for it, and a couple people have posted that they just got their TRD Pros. So they have officially landed. Hybrids are landing. I am going to make a video about that because they seem to be coming a little bit quicker than I thought that they were going to be delivered. So maybe I jumped the gun a little bit early on getting a non-hybrid, but I'm still stoked on the one that we got. Kryptonite, what is up? Roman, how's it going? Vince is up in here too. Daniel says, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, Daniel. Josh is in here. Chadwick, how's it going? Noah, B, what is up? Blue Waffle, that name just kills me every single time. If you guys are like millennials or whatever, I mean, anyone really, when that name was a thing, the Blue Waffle thing. Kyle, how's it going, man? Back at Yota Mafia, end of this month. Bro, I'm going to be at Yota Mafia on Friday. So, again, may miss you, but at the end of this month, I should be able to swing on up to and finally like meet again and say what's up and stuff. John Elliott in here. Jackson 2, what is up, guys? Casey says, John, is 56,000 out the door too much for a sport premium? It has step bars. If that's out the door and that's including the taxes for a TRD Sport Premium, that's a very good price, honestly. If it is including the taxes, the registration, and all those fees. I think that that is actually a pretty good price. Josh says, man, 6th Gen 4Runner YouTube content is lacking out there. Next vid, let's go with tomorrow. Next vid will be tomorrow for the 6th Gen 4Runner. It is kind of dying quick, and that's on me for my channel at least. But it is kind of nice to not see a lot of other people really pushing it out, because if a ton of people were pushing out 4Runner content, I feel like you guys would be kind of done with it. Even TFL is not really posting that much about their 4Runner from what I've seen. Granted, they have like 10 different channels, and it's honestly, it's a little hard to keep track of stuff. Like they'll post it on TFL Car and then post it on TFL Off-Road. And if you're not like subscribed to all the channels, it's kind of hard to find them all sometimes, unless you're really looking. Chadwick says, you inspired me to buy a Tundra. Thank you, mate. I hope you enjoy it, bro. I really do hope that you enjoy the Tundra. I enjoyed my Tundra. Well, I don't know which gen that you decided to buy, but I really did enjoy the 3rd gen. I hope that yours is solid if you got a 3rd gen. And if you got a 2nd gen, bro, enjoy that V8. Noah says, have you gotten all the issues fixed on your Land Cruiser? I have not. The brakes still make that squeaking noise. The 4Runner makes the same brake squeaking noise now. Not as bad as the Land Cruiser, but no, I unfortunately have not had those issues fixed. The dealership just told me we could not duplicate it, and I did not take it to another dealership yet. So unfortunately, just haven't had the time to really drop it off and do that stuff. And I would rather just, if the issues are still there, just have the vehicle, still make content on it, because I'm probably only going to have this thing for a couple more months. We'll have it for a full year. So that's the goal with it, is to have it for a full year, unless when we go to buy this property in Arizona, our lender says, hey, you need to cut $1,000 somewhere, then this Land Cruiser may go a little early. B says, why did you not get a TRD Pro? So for the 4Runner, the reason I didn't get a TRD Pro was because it was going to take about another month to month and a half to get, and I wanted to start making content right away, get parts installed right away, and start showing you guys that. So really, you know, of the 4 or 5 videos that I've already posted on the 4Runner, those wouldn't be posted, I guess, and then we would have when we got the TRD Pro. But I will say this, that recent trip that we just went on to Big Bend, Texas, we had a 4Runner Trail Hunter that I actually got a lot of seat time in, and I kind of like it a lot. So I think the next 4Runner it may be a Trail Hunter. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I don't know. I just really liked I like Tacoma TRD Pro more than Trail Hunter, but on the 4Runner, it's the complete flip side. I enjoy the 4Runner Trail Hunter a little bit more than the TRD Pro, honestly. Kyle's going back to Yoda Mafia. Anthony says, for everyone just joining in, I see that we have a lot of questions already. Please do not think that I hate you and that I am ignoring you. We are currently 10 minutes behind on questions, and that's usually where we hang out. So you could just have this live stream on in the background, and I will get to your questions. It is our first live stream in a couple weeks because I have been traveling a lot. So I don't hate you guys. We just get a little bit behind, and I try to answer everyone's questions. Anthony says, hey, John, just bought a 25 Tacoma Trail Hunter. I feel bad after I just said I enjoy the Pro more than the Trail Hunter. But as long as you love it, like you say you are, loving it so far. But once I'm able to get my hands on a 4Runner TRD Pro, so you're the complete opposite of me, Andy. I enjoy the 4Runner Trail Hunter and the Tacoma TRD Pro. That's hilarious, man. But congrats on it. I'm sure you're enjoying the freaking snorkel right now. Tingle says, how do you feel about the 6-foot bed Tacoma? I found a 2025 one, and I might be getting it, but wondering Rid it can keep up with Baja stuff racing and overlanding. So overlanding it will be great because you have a lot of storage in the bed. Baja, not so great. Longer wheelbase for like going fast and stuff isn't always the best, but off-roading, it'll be good for overlanding trails, not insane technical stuff because a longer wheelbase, you could get hung up on some, you go up like this and then you kind of crest over, whatever that's called while you're off-roading. A longer vehicle, you may center it a little bit more. High center. You may high center a little bit more just because it is about a foot longer. But honestly, like a long bed Tacoma is still really cool, especially with how big they made the new bed. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. Eric says that I'm a noob when it comes to tires, but want to do 17-inch wheels and 33s on them. What is the best plus 25 offset? Feel free to roast. No roasting here, dude. And last gentleman said you could. Can we fit two 85/70s on the 4Runner with no lift? That's exactly what I did on my new 4Runner. And honestly, Eric, this is a pretty solid size to get pretty dang close to a 33-inch tire, unless you want to do a true 33 by 12.5. Plus 25 offset will be fine for the new vehicles. It will poke out a little bit, so if you want to go to like a plus 35 offset, you can if you're looking for like a more flush kind of look with it. So with these new 4Runners, a 33 should fit it totally fine. You don't need to go anything more than a 33. If you want to do 35s, you can. I personally feel like that's a little overkill. But yeah, 33s on this new vehicle, especially stock, fit just perfectly fine. Jackson says, thoughts on if they will make a Land Cruiser TRD Pro. I honestly think that we will get a Trail Hunter Land Cruiser probably before a TRD Pro. The Land Cruiser is just kind of built more for that camping scene versus TRD Pro scene. But it would be very, very cool if we got both. It would be really rad if we got both. So I think a Trail Hunter Land Cruiser would come first over a TRD Pro one. John also says, hey, John, have you seen any power steps for the 4Runner aftermarket? I haven't yet from like a legit company. There was a Chinese company that reached out to me, and I didn't like their website. I didn't really like the steps that they were offering. I forget what the Chinese company was, but yeah, I nothing yet for that that I've seen aftermarket. And we are still about 10 minutes behind. Any whistling after removing the chin, John? If so, what did you do? So I did mention this briefly in the video of me removing that front air dam. There was kind of like some howling and some whistling going on. And then there was actually a comment, and I need to do this with the 4Runner. That's probably on my list to do tomorrow. Basically, if you look under the 4Runner, and you look at the A-arms, like your lower control arms of the 4Runner, not the A-arms up top, not your upper control arms, your lower control arms, you'll notice that there's like these little holes in it. And the comment stated that Tacoma TRD off-roads, so like my old Tacoma TRD off-road, my TRD Pro, and then even Ryan confirmed this from Yota Mafia with his TRD off-road Tacoma, those holes on the 4Runner, they actually are those holes on those Tacomas are actually filled. So they have like these little plastic caps that cover it. On the TRD off-road Tacoma hybrids that come with those air dams, they don't have those. So I guess this was an issue in the Tacoma world as well when those individuals took off their chin spoilers and they had a howling noise with it. So some air is now going under that 4Runner that wasn't before, and I think it's catching those holes and then making that sound. So I'm going to put some tape under mine, drive the 4Runner, because it only happens at like 62 to like 70-something miles an hour, because I just think that the air is just catching it perfectly. So yes, I am getting a whistling noise. It's like more of a howling noise though. And I'm going to see if putting some tape over those little A-arm holes on the lower A-arms will fix it, and then I'll update you guys. Exoflin says, hello, I'm an off-roading noob here. Do I need 35s for easy to medium off-roading? How stock can I keep the suspension if I want to get some Method 703s and some Wild Peak ATs? So 35s are overkill. If you're a noob to off-road and you're doing easy to medium trails, 33s are more than perfect. 35s are for Instagram. They are for likes. They are for this and for that, whatever. It makes the vehicle look cool. But if you want a functional on-road vehicle with the occasional easy to medium off-road, 33s to maybe 34s are absolutely perfect. With 33s, you don't need a lift. You can keep the suspension stock. and have the 703s. Just make sure you get, if you're talking new Toyota products, just make sure you get like a plus 25 offset, and you should be golden with that. NM says, hey John, did your old Tacoma, your old Tacoma is great, and the MPGs were about 18 on my... Oh, Nick, what up, dude? How's it going, man? Heck yeah, that's good. So 18 miles per gallon. So the old Tacoma is getting 18 miles per gallon for the new owner. I'm not sure if that's calculated with the bigger tires, but if it's not, then it's getting close to 19 probably, which is pretty good. So I'm glad that it's getting better than the old... what'd you have? A Tauros, your old Ford Tauros. That is absolutely awesome. Kyle says, do you have any Wolf Box mirror cameras? They just unveiled the Tri-Cam with the front and bumper cameras. I do not yet. They are on their way. So Wolf Box liked the, it's not here. I think it's in the Tundra. They liked the integrated ad that I did with them for their jump starter. So they will be sending out, I believe, that new camera because I think it comes out officially in April. So I will be trying out that camera for you guys. Marty says that I have a 2019 4Runner Limited, thinking of upgrading the infotainment. Anything I should watch out for? The Deseta one is pretty good. I enjoyed that in my 4Runner. And also Trail Grid, I'm going to be upgrading the 4Runner with their full Alpine unit. So it'll be pretty good with that. And, it gives you the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. So pretty stoked to have that. We have about 135 people in here right now. I just want to reiterate every once in a while on things that I am a little bit behind on questions. So don't think that I am ignoring you. Emilio, what is up from Washington, dude? Don't think that I'm ignoring you guys. I just love to give everyone the most attention. If you do want to jump up all the way to the top and skip 10 minutes, you can totally support the channel and donate, but you do not have to because YouTube is free, man. It's absolutely free, except for the internet that you have to pay for to watch it. But it's kind of crazy that, you get so much value on YouTube essentially for free. Hey, John, 0 to 60 quarter mile times for the 5th Gen 4Runner Tier D Pro and Land Cruiser are comparable. However, I have a feeling those numbers don't tell the real story. Does the Land Cruiser feel faster? It does, but not as fast as the new 4Runner. The new 4Runners and new Tacomas, the way that they tuned them, it feels a lot better than the Land Cruiser. But just drivability-wise, like, you really have to rev out that 4Runner to get it, like, up and going, like this 4Runner right here. It's still totally drivable, but I mean, with the 8-speed transmission in these new ones and the low-end torque that it has, it's just more pleasurable to drive on the road versus this old girl back here. This thing's solid, man. I love the 5th Gen 4Runner, but it's no denying that these new vehicles are just super, super good at driving. But time will tell with how reliable they are. Pierre says, hey, John, how do you find the back seats compared to the 5th Gen? Do you think that it's possible to seat 3 kids on the bench? I do. There's a good amount of room in the back seats of these vehicles. If they're kiddos and stuff, they will fit back there totally fine. But once they turn to be like, teenagers and stuff, at the end of the day, it's a mid-sized vehicle, and you may want a bigger Sequoia or a Grand Highlander or a Chevy Tahoe Expedition, something like that. So for kids, I still think that the 6th Gen 4Runner is good for the middle seats. But as they start to get bigger, a full-size SUV is definitely the way to go. Ryan says, John, thinking about upgrading the headlights on my 2010 Limited, but I'm worried about what is all involved with pulling the bumper off. My fit and finish is perfect. I don't want uneven gaps. So you could take it to a shop to do it, man, if you're worried about it, right? But for me, I've taken the bumper off of this 4Runner many of times. The only reason, right there, you see that right there? The only reason it looks a little bit off is because I completely failed and forgot to get the spacer from one of the headlights that I've sold, I think. So I don't have the spacers for the headlights that are supposed to allow the bumper to not go in. So if you transfer everything over and you're very slow and diligent about taking the front bumper off, it goes right back on. And you shouldn't have to worry about any of the panel gaps because where it will snap back into the 4Runner, it's already like in place. So for a bumper to be kind of messed up when you put it back onto the 4Runner, that means that your fenders were a little out of whack, the hood was out of whack, all that stuff was out of whack from the beginning. So if you just put it back the way it was, you should be okay. And definitely make sure that you remember to put those spacers that the headlights have back onto it. So when I take this front bumper off again on my 4Runner, I'm gonna buy those spacers from Toyota and put them on to make them look good. Ryan, what is up, dude? I will see you Friday at Yota Mafia. Marty Monroney is up in here too. How's it going? Yodas and Ponchos. Francisco over there on Facebook hanging out. What is up, man? How's it going? I believe I just lost my spot where I was. Boom. Yeah, so, for a Tacoma. Okay, gotcha. So Casey says for a Tacoma, 56,000 out the door. That may be a little high because no, it depends on your taxes, but really you're getting that truck at pretty much MSRP plus those added things that you have on it as well. So yeah, I mean, because I think MSRP for a Tacoma TRD Sport Premium is around like 51 or 52. So, and then average taxes is maybe around $4,000. So that still seems like a pretty decent deal. If it was a 4Runner, I would say that's a smoking deal. But yeah, a TRD Sport Tacoma, that's pretty dang close to a good deal. If I'm thinking of everything that's on that vehicle. Everywhere West Outdoors says, John, from the past video series, the carbon exhaust on the Tundra, did you have much drone in the cab? Kicking around, getting a cut and clamp or full system for my 24 Limited. I did get some drones. So I'm not sure if you watched all the videos of that series, but I did do a road trip video with it where it did have quite a bit of drone. Not like horrible, but it was very apparent that it was there. And especially too, like when you do your first couple drives with that truck, it is like way louder than stock. So I like the aggressiveness of the carbon exhaust. If I had a Tundra, like full mag Tundra on Instagram, he has the carbon exhaust, but he is always off-roading his truck and stuff. So in that environment, totally fine. But if it's like my daily, if I'm towing with it, if I'm doing road trips with it and all that stuff, it was pretty loud. So I did enjoy the AFE exhaust a little bit more for my application that I was using the Tundra for. It had the perfect amount of startup sound, but it didn't really have that much drone. And I've also worked with MagnaFlow in the past for the Tacoma. So I would be interested to see how the MagnaFlow exhaust was on the on the Tundra, but yeah, I personally liked the AFE. It was that perfect balance of aggressive and also quiet. But the carbon exhaust was definitely a bit more aggressive. If you like aggressive, then that's fine. But in all fairness, I did not do the cut and clamp system. That one retains the rear resonator, which would be a little bit more quiet. So that one may be fine. But the one that I had, the full exhaust system, was definitely a bit louder. Arturo from Milwaukee, what is up, man? He says, I like the 4Runner, but too much money. They are definitely expensive if you're trying to get into the higher end models for sure. So we're about 15 minutes behind now. Gonna run through some to get caught up. Blue STI says, what do you think? Oh, all right. So I did answer this one for you already, but you may not have been in the live stream yet because I see that you did ask that question earlier. So plus 35 offset is good because Westcott Designs, they're running a lot of 12.5-inch wide tires. On my 4Runner, I'm running at about an 11.5-inch wide tire. So it just depends on how wide of a tire that you're gonna put onto the vehicle to bring it in just a little bit more. So if you're gonna do a 12.5-inch wide tire, I also agree with them if you want that kind of flush look to go with plus 35s. But if you're only gonna do like an 11.25 to an 11.5-inch wide tire, then plus 25s is perfect. That guy, what is up, man, says, hey, yo, John, no lift, wheels and tires just fit. Yes, on the 4Runner, the wheels and tires fit perfectly fine. with no lift, if that's what you're talking about for the recent one that I just did. Francisco loves the videos and the cars. I'm glad you guys do, man. I enjoy doing all these videos. I enjoy having the cars. It's a byproduct of it, and it's super rad. Even though I have too many cars right now, I feel like it is still really rad. Mardog says, John, ultimate question, new 4Runner or Land Cruiser? The more I drive the 4Runner, man, the less it feels like a Tacoma to me. The less it, or the more it feels like a 4Runner. And I think I like the 4Runner a little bit more than the Land Cruiser right now, guys. Honestly, it feels more solid. It's built great. I really enjoy it so far. Benedict says, hey, John, it's been a while. Hope you're doing much better now. Keep vlogging. The off-road premium helps me decide at the end which one to get. I'm glad you guys are enjoying vloggy style content. So I did post that on the community tab. Hope you're doing well as well, Benedict. Just because like we may get into that a little bit more. Toyota is kind of done with new cars, you know, so that has to be a pivot for me, because I can review all these cars and stuff, but like 2 years from now, people are going to know about the cars. So it's going to be more about the adventure. It's going to be more about using the vehicles, modifying the vehicles, and all that stuff. And I feel like vlogging is fun because it gives you guys a little insight to more than just the car, right? It allows you guys to see what's going on and using the vehicle. And when I go to Yota Mafia and slowly getting more and more people on camera and stuff and enjoying that. And when we go out to the West Coast, you know, going to all these events and cars and coffees, rigs and roasts, going off-roading with people, it's just funner, honestly. It's a lot funner than just walking around a vehicle and showing you guys the features, especially when everyone's going to be used to them and stuff in a couple of years. I'm keeping my 2019 4Runner until I die. I like the V6. It's solid, man. There's nothing wrong with the old ones. Even though I have the new vehicles, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the old ones. Guess what? I still got this one, right? Still got the 4-liter V6, still got the 5th gen 4Runner, and it's sitting in the garage. She ain't sitting outside getting all gross and stuff. In fact, the new one's sitting outside, right? So she's in the garage. I love it's just so solid. Is the 6th gen 4Runner hitch also welded to the frame? It is, Wookie. Just like the Tacoma is. That's the way that they're doing it on that. I have a 15 4Runner, 22 Silverado, and 24 Tesla Model Y. I'm thinking about trading my Silverado for a new 4Runner. That'd be quite a lineup. 2 4Runners and a Tesla. Dude, I've been looking at Teslas online, and they're pretty cheap, like per month, with incentives and stuff that you would get for it. I like, because my wife wants a car that she can just kind of like drive and not be modified and stuff. And I was, for shits and giggles, just looking at a Tesla. I was like, Bree, we could get a pretty nice Tesla for like $350, like $400 a month. Kind of crazy. And I sat in a Tesla at an auto show. I was like, wow, these are actually pretty nice inside. Have you ever owned a Tier D Avalon, Yotas and Ponchos? But I would like to have a car one day. Not like a sedan car, unless it's a Lexus ISF or IS 500. But I have not owned a Tier D Avalon. They look cool. They sound cool with the Tier D exhaust. But if I'm to get a car, it's either going to be a new Toyota MR2, if they ever come out with that, or new Celica, or the GR Corolla. I really think that the GR Corolla is like untapped content on YouTube. Some dudes are doing great content with it on short form and stuff. And then Talon Sai, he got a Corolla as well, and his audience seems to love it. So I think that a Corolla would be such a cool vehicle to get, because it kind of like, it's a fun car, but it also kind of touches on the heartstrings of the off-road community, because you could rally that car. I think that that would be really cool, like ripping down some dirt roads in a GR Corolla. It's such a sick car. Blue TI says, just got a new 4Runner off-road. Congrats, man. Traded in the 2020 on Saturday. I hope that you are enjoying it. It's going to be great, man. It's a very good vehicle. Definitely takes some getting used to, especially from the old one. but it's going to be awesome. Marty says, is there a wider tire size that I could put on a 2019 4Runner Limited? Yeah, you could do a little bit wider of a tire on that, but you can't go like as tall, especially if you're going to keep the stock wheels. That does help for offset with rubbing, but I think the biggest that you could put on those older 4Runners, especially a Limited that sits a little lower, is maybe like a 32 to a 33-inch tire. You just want to watch out for your upper control arms and stuff. SR5 Tacoma, chin off, had a whistle as well, plugged the holes in the lower control arm. So this seems to be a theme, and it seems to be the proper thing to do. So for that recent question on taking the chin spoiler off, that will hopefully be the solution for that. Do you like the body or the build quality of the 4Runner compared to the 5th gen? The 5th gen, my 5th gen, pre-COVID is built better for sure than the new 4Runner. And my 5th gen 4Runner is also built better than a 2024 4Runner that I had as a press vehicle and a 2023. Those felt a little bit cheaper, not by much, but they did feel a little bit cheaper on the inside compared to mine pre-COVID 4Runner. So I just think all cars after that time, which is a pathetic excuse, are just all seeing a lack of build quality, a lack of care, a lack of materials. It's pretty pathetic. So yeah, I hope that these car manufacturers realize that people don't want crap products and they start to make better products again. Yep. And then Bob said that for his SR5 4Runner. So yours was at a lower speed. That's very unique. Are dealers not offering pre-wired switches on ORPs? They are not. So we will be getting some stuff by Cali Raised for that, which I'm excited to showcase their products because 4Runners do not have the those. Any updates on the shocks coming from Ironman? Funny you say that because I actually just had a meeting with Ironman today. Their 2.5 shocks should be rolling out in the next month. So not sure if we're going to have the Land Cruiser long enough to put those that suspension on. I am hopefully getting it for this 4Runner right here behind me, and eventually they'll have some also for the Tacoma and the new 4Runner. So I am excited about their new suspension for sure. Think that you could take out the second row seats. You probably can, because when you flip them forward, it's just like some bolts and stuff under there. So you could probably take out those second row seats if you really wanted to. I'm not going to take them out on my 4Runner, but I'm sure that you can disassemble them, no problem. Sam says, hey, John, what's up? What is up, Sam? I picked up a Wolfbox jump starter / inflator. Thanks for the recommendation. I hope you never have to use it, but if you do, man, Sam, it was pretty freaking awesome, like how quickly it started the vehicle. Because I've had the NOCO ones in the past, which work great. I'm not crapping on their product. But that Wolfbox one, like, I don't know if it was just amped up a little bit more, but it like started the vehicle like that, like very, very quickly. That guy says, hey, John, gotta make it out here to Oahu. Man, that would be so cool. I've been to the Big Island, which is not Oahu, I don't believe. And then we actually had our honeymoon in Maui, and it was beautiful. Hawaii is such a special, amazing place. It's just so beautiful down there. It's really cool. I would love to get down there again. Hey, John, what do you think about the Nissan Frontier? I think that it's a great vehicle. It's the last of a V6. But for me personally, I just think it's a little bit of a generation behind, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like an in-between of the 3rd gen Tacoma and the new 4th gen in terms of technology and how the vehicle is. I personally would prefer a Tacoma over the Nissan, and it's not because I'm a Toyota fanboy, right? But I just think that the power is a little bit more on paper. The 8-speed transmission is good, and it's just not like not a Frankenstein. That's the wrong words to say, but it's like they try to make it a little bit more modern, but still old at the same time. That's why it really, to me, just feels like a little bit better version of the 3rd gen Tacoma. Like if you said, hey, John, 3rd gen Tacoma or Nissan, I'd probably pick the Nissan, honestly, over the 3rd gen Tacoma. But Nissan compared to 4th gen Tacoma, I'm leaning towards the 4th gen. Robert says, thinking about a winch. If so, what size, pull, and weight? Bro, that depends on the vehicle that you have, how heavy it is, all the stuff that's on the vehicle. and budget too. But just keep in mind, most likely when you put a winch on that vehicle, you're going to have to upgrade your suspension as well to help with all that weight up front, because the vehicle will lower itself down. So you may have to get some little bit stiffer of springs up front in the vehicle. That's kind of why I've never ran a winch on a vehicle before, just because there's a lot of weight now up front. And also you have to do some suspension work too. KP says, hey John, just wondering, is it worth getting an LED light bar for the Tacoma TRD Pro? I don't think it is, because I personally think that the LED light bar that comes on that vehicle is totally fine. But if you are going to upgrade the light bar, man, I really like diode dynamics. When I put them into the fog lights of my last Tacoma, I was honestly blown away with how one OEM it looked, but also the performance of the light. So if I was to swap out the Tacoma's light bar, I would put a diode dynamics in there. One, because it looks OEM, and two, the lighting performance out of that, their little fog lights was so good. John says, what's up with Toyota prices? They need to come down. Bro, they have, which is nice. So if you go to a dealership, you can negotiate prices. I've seen $10,000 off of Tundras, seen upwards of $10,000 off of Tacomas. We are in a negotiating time. So go to the dealership. If they don't want to negotiate, see you later. I'm going to the next dealership down the road. So MSRPs of all vehicles are high right now, but those are just MSRPs, manufactured suggested retail price, not the price that people are paying. So don't see things for as they are and think that you have to pay that price. Go in there, negotiate, get a good deal on these vehicles. How much more comfortable is the 4Runner Trail Hunter than TRD Pro? They're kind of the same to me, but the Old Man Emu suspension on the Trail Hunter is honestly really plush. I liked it a lot. So it's very comfortable around town. I have not driven a TRD Pro 4Runner yet, not on like a course. So the seat time that I was able to get in the 4Runner Trail Hunter this past week was honestly really cool. Got to drive it for several hours, and it was a very good vehicle. So I can't speak for the Trail or the TRD Pro really yet, like on road, just because I haven't really had a fair bit of time with it on road. For everyone asking questions, we are now 12 minutes behind, so we are catching up. We were 15 minutes at one point. Marty Vision, what is up, man? Welcome to the chat. Elias is up in here too. JLACF, how's it going? I will get to your guys' questions in a second. Marty Vision, dude, you're always coming in here with all the hype. I freaking love it. Michael says, would you buy your Land Cruiser all over again, or would you get another option? So I would not buy this Land Cruiser again. The reason for that is because I don't think that it's worth the extra $5,000 over a premium. Now, we'll see if I go back on that when it comes to resale, because I think resale for these first editions is actually a bit better right now from what I see versus a Land Cruiser Premium. So I think because it's kind of like it's the very first year, you get the body color with the round. Ooh, this needs to get washed. Holy crap. It's painted. You have the round headlights. That aspect I like of it, and it should hold its value, but I don't think that it's worth the extra $5,000. Now, if you put this and a comparable priced Lexus GX, I would pick the GX all day over the Land Cruiser for the sole fact of that 6-cylinder engine and the acoustic glass that the GX has, the more sound deadening materials. I like the GX a lot better than the Land Cruiser. So that's kind of two answers to your question, Michael. The Land Cruiser is still great. I like how big it is inside. I like how tall it is. The materials over the 4Runner, I like a bit better until you get into the more premium 4Runners and stuff. But I don't think that I would buy a first edition again. If I was to buy a Land Cruiser again, it would probably just be the normal Land Cruiser grade, and I would debate on getting the premium. I think a Land Cruiser grade at about $60,000 is a very good purchase. But this one was almost $75,000. I don't truly see all the differences of things in this vehicle that I would like miss if I got one that was around $60,000. Now, I don't think that the 1958, unless you get a very good price on a 1958, I don't think that that kind of cheaper interior is worth the price when you could get a 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium Hybrid for the same price, like on paper, MSRP. So that would be a hard sell for me. But then once you get into the Land Cruiser grade, with the soft touch materials on the inside, the soft tech seats, and I think you have to upgrade to a premium to get the premium leather. Yeah, I wouldn't buy this one again, but there are other Land Cruiser grades that I would buy. But for the price, I buy a GX all day. Eric says, what lift do you think would look the best on the 4Runner? Thinking about basically just doing a leveling kit. Not sure what gen, Eric, sorry, there's been a lot of questions. But if you're just looking for a leveling kit, then a Westcott pre-collar kit would be great. From what I've ran in the past, I'm about to put peak suspension on the new 4Runner, so I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. But for a very inexpensive kit, you can't go wrong with Westcott pre-collar kit. But if you're looking to swap out the suspension, Bilstein is pretty good, pretty inexpensive. And then Ironman, too, will be coming out with their new 2.5 kit. And a lot of people have said that they enjoy Ironman stuff. Darren from Toronto, what is up, man, says, new to your channel. Well, thank you. Got a new manual Tacoma coming next month. Your recommended 3-peak all-terrain tires, make and max size without a lift. So for a Tacoma, you could probably fit close to 34s. It depends on the offset of the wheels that you're going to be putting on that. But I think a 33 would be totally fine with that stuff for sure. Mixed comments from YouTube automotive journalists about the 6th gen 4Runner nosedive like the 5th gen. Some say significantly reduced, some say just as bad as the 5th gen. Your take? Unfortunately, I did not drive the TRD Pro on the road. I only drove it on an off-road course, jumping it, drifting it, doing all the fun stuff with it. So I did not take it on road to do that. The TRD Sport has way less nosedive for sure over the 5th gen 4Runner. But the TRD Off-Road does have some nosedive when compared to the 5th gen. Not as bad, but the TRD Pro has softer suspension. So I would say, without driving it on the road, if I had to guess, I would say that it's pretty dang similar to the 5th gen. Probably not as bad, but it'll still do it. And then this question for the 6th gen panels, Yota Mafia is doing a bracket. Ryan is leading the charge for that one. So Ryan, if maybe we can make that work, I could showcase that with something as well in partnership with Cali Rays when I get a whole switch panel thing as well. We need to talk about that on Friday. That would be sweet. Is the back seat of the new 4Runner big and comfy enough for a hefty golden retriever? Love the channel. It is. You could put some pups on that back seat for sure. But if you're comfortable with, having the back seats maybe tumbled forward and so the dog can enjoy that rear window that rolls down, then I think that would be one happy pup. Our dogs do enjoy the new 4Runner for sure. The 5th gen feels like a dog with acceleration. That was the most disappointing for me. Yeah, the 5th gen doesn't have power. Like, it is a good, reliable 6-cylinder. It's bulletproof, but my gosh, is it a freaking dog when trying to accelerate. What's next for the Land Cruiser? Haven't seen it on the channel in a while. We haven't. That is one of the cons about starting to get too many vehicles is it's hard to put them all on the channel, and I am curious how I'm going to balance that when we do have property in Arizona, right? It'll be like there's West Coast cars and then there's Florida cars. So I will just need to get better on that stuff, whether it's bulk recording a vehicle while I'm out somewhere else or what. But I do need to put these sliders, roof rack on the Land Cruiser. I have an intake that I've been sitting on as well that I need to put onto the Land Cruiser. We did put new wheels onto it, which I haven't officially showcased for you guys yet. So I have a lot of stuff to do in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to live this year 1 quarter at a time, not Fast and the Furious, a quarter mile at a time, but 1 quarter at a time. So all the products that I get from January into March, at the end of the March, they should all be installed on the vehicles. And then April 1st is like New Year's to me, right? So instead of like, oh, New Year's resolution, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. That's how, for me, mentally, this year, I'm trying to be. So every quarter is the end of the year. And then that April 1st, hey, it's a new year. Let's attack it. Let's go at it. So that's really, really how I'm trying to work this year. So Land Cruiser, some modifications more coming for her. Comparison videos too with the 6th Gen 4Runner. All that stuff that you guys want. And eventually we will be selling this Land Cruiser probably by May, because then we will have it for a full year. So that's pretty much how long I like to keep vehicles. People say in the comments that I go through vehicles like crazy. I don't know why. The only vehicle that I've had for less than a year was the Sequoia. Whatever. So we will see. Shu says, wife and I test drove a 25 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. Thought it was our dream car, sat in it, and the interior was too small compared. And cramped. Our reviewers not being honest about the interior. I don't know. That's why, like, for comparison videos and drivability stuff, like I say all the time, you have to go sit in it. So that 4Runner to me feels bigger than this 4Runner. It may feel cramped, maybe because of like the low roof line, I guess. But it doesn't feel cramped for me and my wife. But you know, I'm not saying that you're big, but we're not the biggest of people. My wife, she's only 5'1", and you know, I'm just barely shy of 6 foot. I'm 185 pounds. So for us, it's not cramped. But it's all on the individual, for sure. If you have a family, if you guys test drove it with family or whatever, then yeah, it may feel a little bit cramped. All right, gonna burn through some stuff. So we are a little bit behind on comments, but there aren't that many. So I will continue to slow down, and if you guys are waiting for an answer, again, I am not ignoring you. I just like to give everyone some time on these. Hey, John, for families, more backseat legroom in the new 4Runner or Land Cruiser? I think it's the same. Maybe the Land Cruiser has a little bit more, because the 4Runner definitely does focus a little bit more on the front driver position and having a lot of room. But that would actually be interesting to see which one at my driving position is better. So I will include that in the comparison videos between the two, kind of just like I did the 4th Gen Tacoma versus the 6th Gen 4Runner as well. Marty Vision says that I'm going with a 2005 Highlander. Them bitches built strong, and the V6 in them too. So yeah, you can't go wrong with an older Highlander for sure. Even the new ones, man, like they are built pretty good. We just had one as a review vehicle, which that video will be going up, and it gives my wife's opinion of it after a week. She probably put 250 miles, I think, on it. Oh, so she enjoyed it, and the older Highlanders are definitely built strong. While we get some more comments and stuff up in here, and we are behind, but I will get to you guys. We're going to be in California in a couple weeks, and I was able to get a press vehicle out there, one that I don't get really here in the East Coast. I'm super excited about it. So I asked for like a GX Overtrail or an LX, or a 4Runner, TRD Pro, or a Platinum. Just something that I haven't gotten yet here on the East Coast. And unfortunately, there's an event going on that same week in California where they need more SUVs to shuttle people. So Toyota has Toyota has these cars all throughout the United States, and they're with a company that's called Drive Shop. So they facilitate all these cars out. So when there's an event, they take a good bulk of those cars to help shuttle people around and stuff. That's like when we fly into certain places, like this recent event to Texas. I got a Tacoma Trail Hunter, and I drove it from the airport to the hotel. So basically, like, one of those events is going on. So essentially, we got a vehicle that will only fit me and my wife in it. And it's a Tacoma TRD pre-runner, which is really cool. So I've been wanting a pre-runner. since I saw it come out for the Tacoma. So I'm going to have that for about 4 days in California. And I'm going to try to find some off-road trails and also see how that Tacoma is. So I'm actually very excited to bring that content for you guys to the channel. So, oh, new horn too? That's cool. So Jay just got a 25 Tier D Off-Road Premium. Waiting to hear back from the dealer on a fender flare gap. Did you get your gaps fixed? Man, so your gaps are messed up too. That kind of sucks. I did not yet. I'm going to take the 4Runner into the dealership probably soon because it has about 1,600 miles on it. And I may do a break-in oil change just to appease people on YouTube because I wait till 10,000 miles to do the oil change. But I may do an oil change early on that one and then have them look at the panel gaps. I'm thinking about getting a 25 Tundra, Elias says. I am too. And sorry about the last few messages. I kept clicking send by accident. I'm wondering if I should get a 25 Tundra, though, or a 25 F-150 with a V8. Thoughts? So I think it's cool, that Ford still offers the V8. So if you want a V8 with that 5.0 Coyote, go with the Ford. The Ford interior is a lot bigger than the Tundra. They give you more features for sure. I like the Ford F-150. If I was going to do a non-Toyota brand, though, I would probably go a little bit more towards GM for like the GMC AT4 Sierra. I really do like that truck. So I would go more that route. But I mean, I grew up with Toyotas. I grew up with Chevys. I grew up with Fords. And they're all not made like they are now for good and bad reasons. So I would, if I was to go out of the realm of Toyota on the channel, which I will one day, a Ford Raptor is very high up there on my list. The new Ram RHOs, I actually really like those a lot. I'm very intrigued about that Hurricane engine. And now I just heard too that Ram may be bringing back the TRX with the V8 too, which is pretty cool. I think it's rad that those, like the big three manufacturers, like when Trump gave some leniency for like the new Green Deal and all that stuff, they're immediately back at the V8s, but Toyota's not, which is kind of frustrating because like Ford and GM and Stellantis, they're like, oh, we're allowed to put V8s back in the vehicles with no CAFE fines. Boom, let's throw the V8s back in the vehicles. So that is cool about those brands. They have the money for it. They have the engines still. Toyota just went all in with their new technology, and they're just playing it safe, it seems like. So I think there's going to be a lot of options for V8s like within the next 4 years still, if stuff stays lax. So we will see. So the new Tundra, I enjoy it. It's good. I do want to try a 25 or a 26 Tundra. Not sure when the refresh is going to be, but I do want to try a newer Tundra again just to see if Toyota really did fix some of the issues that I had in my previous vehicles. And I just miss having a full-size truck. We have a second-gen Tundra, and it's good, but like it's not. I enjoy that truck, but I don't love that truck the way that people said that I was going to love it. But the next phase for that truck, I'm going to love a lot. So that's why I'm keeping the Voodoo Blue Tundra that I have, even though it hasn't been on the channel. I'm just waiting on the freaking supercharger to come in. Like that's the next real thing to do with that truck is the supercharger to give you guys more content on it. And like, I'm just waiting on it. So, but yeah. Ethan says that I'm in Moab, Utah at this moment. I only see old 4Runners on the road. Haven't seen any new Tacomas, Land Cruisers, or new 4Runners. Yeah, that's crazy. Because when I was in Moab for Cruise Moab last year, I did see a couple 4th-gen Tacomas and a couple new Land Cruisers. Actually, no, I didn't see any new Land Cruisers because they weren't really out yet. That's a complete lie. So, but yeah, there's not that many Land Cruisers out there. I'm surprised you haven't seen any 4th-gen Tacomas. And 6th-gen 4Runners, they are still pretty fresh, so I wouldn't expect to see those very common on the roads for a while. I'm just now starting to see more Land Cruisers in my area, more GXs in my area. And almost every time now I go on the road, I see a new Tacoma. So they are starting to be more apparent in the world of driving right now. Chris says, would you prefer a 4Runner off-road premium or a Land Cruiser premium? I would prefer a 4Runner, honestly. It's quieter of a drive. It's softer of a drive. I do like the Land Cruiser, though, in the sense of soft touch materials all over the place compared to the 4Runner. That does have a little too much plastic, in my opinion. But I think if I had to pick one of the two, I would probably pick the 4Runner. One, it's about 10 grand cheaper than the Land Cruiser Premium. So that would definitely be a factor too for some people. I think that the 4Runner, when compared to the Land Cruiser, is actually pretty decent value. TRD John, do you still like your Red Pro V8? I think that's the wrong channel. I don't have or a TRD Pro V8 maybe. Is that what you meant, Rocky? Oh yeah, you did, right down here. So yes, I know I just touched on that briefly. I still do enjoy that truck. But I am just waiting on the supercharger for it. So there will be a couple videos that I do with that truck before we get the supercharger, but hopefully it comes in soon. I need to get with Breland from Yota Mafia. He's going to talk with Magnuson, hopefully at the Overland Expo, to see where the heck that supercharger is. And then we will be putting it into the Tundra. And then eventually with that Tundra, what we're going to do is ship it out to the West Coast. And then it will be built up to be a kind of pre-runner. And then one of the shakedowns that I want to do with that truck is take it down to Mexico and do a whole pre-run Baja, like kind of Raptor style run with it. So I think that that would be very, very cool to do with that truck and really put it through its paces. How do I become a press vehicle person like you did? Bro, start with content. So I started this YouTube channel with my 5th Gen 4Runner, started doing Toyota review stuff, started getting views, started getting subscribers. That's all you got to do. You just got to be consistent with it, whether it's social media like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You write articles about stuff. You have to make it worth Toyota giving you vehicles in exchange for content, just like companies giving you product in exchange for content. There's a lot of content creators out there that think that because they make a video, you know, they deserve product, but your videos have to get in front of people. That's what all these companies look for. So if you could do that, make good engaging content, make great reviews and stuff, you can do that. So the easiest way to start out is just review vehicles that you have, find your niche, and then go to a dealership, say, hey, I have this YouTube channel, can I review a couple of cars? And shout out your guys' dealerships. That's how 99% of automotive reviewers get started when they don't have access to cars and the manufacturers, is they go to the dealerships, they hustle, they get everything done, and they just make content on it. So anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And Orange says, are there any 6th Gen interior Molly panels in the works? There is, from a lot of companies, I think. But I know that Cali Raised will be coming out with them soon because they were scanning the 4Runner while at the scan event. They just got their new 4Runner last week. So they are R&D, fixating stuff to it, making sure everything fits good. And I'm sure that they'll be coming out with some Molly panels and stuff soon. FSeb, how's it going, man? Said, thoughts on reduced space in the 6th Gen 4Runner with the seats flipped back, lose about 4 inches of space in length. I think that's because they moved kind of everything back. That does stink that it's a little bit less than the 5th Gen. I haven't measured mine yet, but I have seen that on people's videos that they have done. But I want to get the tape measure out when we compare the 5th Gen to the 6th Gen 4Runner. And I'm going to aim to have that video up on Sunday for you guys. Sunday is a big day on YouTube. It's when a lot of people are just hanging out at their houses with family or whatever, and it's a good YouTube day for me. So I will definitely make that video go live on Sunday because I feel like that would be a good day to drop it and for you guys to enjoy, especially because it's kind of a longer, it's going to be a longer video. It'll probably be, when I'm all done editing it, it'll probably be close to 15 to 20 minute video. And it's going to be a slower pace, just showcasing everything on the vehicles. It's not going to be rushed. It's going to be very, very detailed for those that want it. Kyle 007, what up, dude? Says, hey, John, I have $40K to spend on a used family vehicle. Should I go 4Runner or Tundra? We tow a pontoon boat. Otherwise, no real truck needs. The cool thing about trucks now is like they're kind of a dual hat to where they are a family vehicle, but they're also still utilitarian. So for me, if it was just me, depending on like how big my family is, if let's say it's an average family of 4, right? I would probably go more towards a truck and then get a nice tonneau cover for the bed to throw all your guys' stuff in to keep it nice and dry. So if that was us and we could only purchase one of those vehicles, I would probably lean towards a truck. I enjoy having a truck in our driveway, even though if we don't use it all the time. It's one of those things like when you need it, you got it. It's awesome. We just picked up, well, I don't know if my family is in this chat, so I'm not going to say what we got them. But we used the truck the other day to put something in the bed of it. And that particular thing that we bought, when we go out to Texas, we're going to have to put it in the trailer that we're taking to get our cow. So it's just nice to have a truck. You go up there, you throw something in the bed, it's good to go. So the 4Runner would tow a pontoon boat fine, depending on the weight of it. But if it's anything more than 5,000 pounds or 4,500 pounds, I wouldn't push a 4Runner that hard. Abe says, speaking of dogs, I put a trunk liner for the 6th gen 4Runner, and I have a, and a 60-pound German Shepherd. Holy smokes, yeah. So hopefully Last Fit is going to come out with like some decent, actually measured out stuff soon. And I know that Canvasback liner, they're going to come out with stuff as well. I just got their stuff the other week for the Land Cruiser, so I'm going to put their stuff into the Land Cruiser. I still have Canvasback liners in my 5th gen 4Runner. Last Fit actually came out with some different material too for the cargo area. So the 5th gen 4Runner will be on the channel again for you guys this month, me showcasing that because it's a new product line that Last Fit dropped. So I think that would be pretty cool to showcase. And yeah, 4Runners and dogs, they go hand in hand. I'm interested in getting the limited trim that comes with 20-inch wheels. It's big baller when you get onto that limited. So we are still 15 minutes behind. So I am catching up, guys, but there aren't like too many questions in here. So we are still doing pretty good. So don't think I'm ignoring you guys. We're just a little bit behind on the comments. And we've already been in here for an hour. And we've been hanging out at around 120 people. So that's absolutely awesome. I kind of want the Crown Signia. Dude, real talk. Crown Signia actually looks pretty cool. I like it. It has a good hybrid system from Toyota. It looks the part of a station wagon. I like it way more than the Toyota Venza. So I actually think that the Crown Signia is pretty nice. It has a really, really nice interior as well. The 5th gen V6 ain't that slow. I have no problem out accelerating Corolla, Civics, accidents, and full loaded semis. Yeah, hey, 5th gen 4Runner could smoke a semi off the line. I'll tell you what. It's the beauty that it's reliable. That's the main thing out of it. You know it will never hopefully let you down. The only thing that's let us down on this 4Runner is the battery. That's it. What offset do you have on your 25 4Runner? I have a plus 25 offset on the Relations race wheels. They're 8.5 inches wide. I'm going with a plus 18. That should be fine. 275. That should be good. You'll have a smidge of poke. I think that would look good, Sean, on yours. Blanche says maybe when you put your foot through the pedal. Yeah. It's slow. It is the 5th gens. They're slow for sure. I'm bald and I love this channel. Justice for the bald community. I just buzzed my hair after I got out of the military. Actually, I need to text my wife real quick to bring me my laptop charger. I didn't realize that it was dying like this. Bring me my laptop charger. It's in my toolbox where the cables are. I can't wait to show you guys my office. It's we've been renovating it. My wife just got done painting it and everything, and I'm gonna have, instead of being in the garage, which I do enjoy being in the garage and stuff for these live streams and sit down content, the setup that I have is gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna have like the Hot Wheels all on the back wall. We're gonna have the Ivan Iron Man Stewart video game and stuff there, some cool lights and everything. It'll be pretty rad. And then I bought a toolbox from Harbor Freight to have like all my camera gear and electronics and stuff in. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, so I'm not bald. I just cut my hair with like a 2 every time. When I got out of the military, I grew my hair out, and if you guys look at some of my videos from like 2-ish, 3 years ago, I had longer hair. I'm just quitting all these apps right now because my laptop's dying. I grew my hair out, and like it just looks horrible. It looked so horrible. I don't know why I did that on video. I looked like a slob. So now, like, I haven't paid for a haircut probably in 4 years, just because I just take my clippers all the time, just buzz my head, and then my wife just touches everything up. So John, did you see the new CHR plus BEV that was revealed today? It looks good. What? No. Where at? Toyota CHR BEV. I have not seen this yet. Oh, it's in the UK. All right. Is it in the UK, or did it come out for the United States? It looks like it's overseas. 2025 CHR. Yeah, it looks like it's overseas from what I'm seeing. That actually looks pretty good. Definitely a lot better than the one that we got here. So, but yeah, I think that the CHR is done here, but I'm not 100% sure. This might be a long shot, John, but have you ever experienced odd clicking with the steering wheel on the 6th gen? I did remove the air dam in mine and noticed an odd clicking sound on the steering wheel. What do you... No, I haven't. You have that? Just go through the middle. Here, can you plug this in back there? I'm sorry. Appreciate it. I know, I have a bunch of crap all over the place. I need to clean all this stuff up. No, I haven't heard a clicking sound coming from, I think, the middle one. The middle one? Yeah, because it's not as loose. The right one? Flip that thing upside down. Flip it. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. I haven't heard a clicking sound at all, but I have heard that whistling sound and stuff. So clicking, no. With that electronic power steering wheel, or like, because it's not like hydraulic steering wheel, it's an electronic power steering wheel. Maybe you have something going on with that, but I haven't experienced really any clicking. I will keep an ear out for that just in case. You guys know how I am with rattles and creaks and stuff. I will point it out, and people hate that I point it out all the time. Yo, I'm sorry, but I have not heard that. The offset on my 6th Gen 4Runner Relations race wheels is plus 25. Paul says, hey, John, Paul from Toronto here. How long did you have to wait for your off-road premium 4Runner? I put a deposit on an ORP in Toronto, and the wait times are about 10 months. Love the channel. I didn't wait that long. I talked with a lot of different dealerships. I talked with individuals at Toyota as well to hopefully help me facilitate one early. I then was able to talk with some regional people that are in charge of regions, which is how Toyota North America does it for at least the United States. I have no idea how Canada does their stuff, but I do know that Canada is very far behind when it comes to getting new Toyotas and stuff. So I was in contact with an individual with Gulf State Toyota. So once they hit the ports and everything on the West Coast, I got my 4Runner within 2 weeks, I think, 2-3 weeks. So I was definitely one of the first to get one, but it's because I started that whole process probably 6 months prior or so to get one, trying to get my foot in the door at different dealerships. And also, since I work with Toyota, not get paid, guys, holy crap. Since I work with Toyota for these trips and stuff, I have met higher ups and I expressed to them that I wanted one of the first 4Runners. So we were all able, from me talking with dealerships, what region I wanted to try to get one in. Tried to get one in the West Coast, California, but the only things that were available were SR5s that were not claimed. So, even John did not get special treatment in California and stuff. So, it took me about 2-ish weeks once they hit the port. But the whole process was about 6 months, but they technically weren't even available yet. But just starting that process took about 6 months. Justin says, love the channel. I'm hoping to get hold of a new 4Runner. What's the maximum spare tire that we could fit underneath? I think it's about a 33 to 33 and a half that you could probably fit under there. You may be able to fit a 34 if you deflate it a little bit. But I think it's just like the Tacoma under there to where a 33-inch tire will fit. I'm in St. Pete, Florida, and I've only seen 4-ish Land Cruisers. Bro, that's crazy because St. Pete has some money and stuff too. But it is a bigger metropolitan area, so maybe they're spread out all throughout. But I've seen maybe 10 different Land Cruisers here. There's a couple Heritage Blues. There's a couple Trail Dusts. And there's this one dude down in 30A that I've seen a couple times. He has a Meteor Shower one, and he paint matched all this. So, like, this is Meteor Shower on his. This is Meteor Shower. Like, he doesn't have any of this plastic black anymore on his Land Cruiser. He actually paint matched it all and it looks really good. Dan says, would you choose a GX Overtrail or a 4Runner TRD Pro / Trail Hunter? I believe MSRPs are similar. Man, that one's honestly hard. Man, that's hard. They're flying late tonight. Holy crap. Man. This is going to kill me. I'd probably pick a GX. Honestly, I really like that V6, but the 4Runner, like the Trail Hunter and the TRD Pro, like they are pretty powerful as well. And I do really like the 4Runner Trail Hunter. But gun to my head, if I have to give you an answer right now, I would probably do GX. Honestly, I just really like the GX guys. That will be the next legit like long-term vehicle, I hope, on the channel. To throw thousands of miles on that thing. Because in a perfect world, if we go from Florida to Arizona, we're going to need a nice family road trip vehicle. And I think that a GX would be a perfect candidate for that. So that would be 10 to 15,000 miles on that thing a year. And we would have it for a while. Like, I would really like to have a GX for a while. Le Cobra says, hey, how far behind are we? We're good. Dennis, how's it going, man? JT, All Terrain Nation. David, what is up, man? How's it going? What is up? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are all good. Bland says, everyone smash the likes. Helps John out. I'd appreciate if you guys do that. And do that for all content creators on YouTube. It helps the algorithm knowing that you guys enjoy the videos and also commenting and stuff. I truly, truly appreciate it. La Cobra says, I love the channel, man. Any thoughts on TRD Off-Road Premium versus TRD Off-Road? Is it really worth the price difference? Honestly, I think it is. Toyota kind of nerfed the normal TRD Off-Road, and the TRD Off-Road Premium actually gets quite a bit of features on it compared to the normal TRD Off-Road. So I personally, if you could swing that couple extra thousand, I think that you would enjoy the Off-Road Premium more, just for the bigger screen, the Softex seats, heated, ventilated seats, the 360 camera view and stuff in it. If you get it with the digital rear view mirror, the power lift gate, like there's just quite a bit more in the Off-Road Premium versus the normal off-road. For like it sounds like crappy of me to say, oh, for only $4,000 or $5,000 more, but really, like, that's not terribly that much more to get all the features that you get. If the TRD Off-Road had like the 14-inch screen and the power liftgate and like a couple extra things, there would be more of an argument to where the TRD Off-Road's not really worth it. but I think that the TRD Off-Road Premium it's worth it over the normal TRD Off-Road. Sean says, long time since I saw a live show. Just installed the Oxbeam 8 switch with replacement dash pod. Slight surgery on the dash, but it looks factory good. And then I also saw that you said OE panel for $109 is amazing. Yeah, so that's kind of something that we're going to do on our 4Runner that Cali Rays is coming out with as well. And then we're going to have a whole pod system and everything. Since you don't get the aux switches, which is kind of crazy. It's been a long time. Oh, you said that twice. Oh, and you fixed live. All good, man. I appreciate it, Sean. And also thank you for being a member, too. I truly appreciate that support. We do have memberships on this channel. I say all the time that I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but I just organically like it happening. But if we do get a good amount of members on the channel, I would be very incentivized to do like quarterly giveaways and stuff too for you guys. Kathy says that I'm debating between a 4Runner and Sequoia. What do you think about each? I love the looks of the Sequoia. The power of the Sequoia is great. The size, the Sequoia for the first 2 rows is amazing. Tons of room. The Sequoia with the captain's chairs is freaking awesome. But the Sequoia loses it for me in the cargo area. The way those rear seats fold down, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't like the Sequoia's cargo area at all. But I love the looks of it. Honestly, if the 4Runner had like a mini Sequoia front end, man, that would be such a cool looking front end on the 4Runner. But yeah, the cargo area of the Sequoia, not great at all. But the power and the first 2 rows is just so good in that car. We enjoyed our Sequoia when we had it. I hated the stupid tow mirrors on it. It was just, I don't know who in the design department was like, yeah, we'll put these same ginormous tow mirrors on this SUV. Did not look good with it at all. But I wouldn't mind owning a Sequoia again, honestly. I really wouldn't. It was a very good vehicle. I'm curious my wife's thoughts if she likes it more than the Land Cruiser. She told me that she liked the Land Cruiser more than the Sequoia after driving it more because it's like kind of still smaller but big at the same time. The Sequoia is just big. It's a very big vehicle. Eric says that he traded in his Subaru Outback for a first-gen Tundra. Oh, should he? With your history behind the wheel of a first-gen, what says you? I love the first-gen Tundra. I think still to this day it was my favorite Tundra that I owned just because it's like the size of a Tacoma, but still big for the double cab, and you got a full 6.5 foot bed. Like it was the perfect size vehicle. That 5.7 V8 was absolutely smooth and awesome. I just wish that the Tundra that I had didn't have some transmission issues. But man, I truly miss the first gen Tundra. It's one of those vehicles that I've sold that I wish I didn't. Casey says, did you like your Paragon bed cover enough to recommend it? Or do you think something similar from another brand would be better? So Paragon actually just came out with a new... Oh, Dennis, how's it going, man? What is up? Welcome to the live stream. Not sure if you're still in here. Hope all is well in California, man. Ah, so good. Man, what a great time. But thank you for the support. Appreciate it. So Paragon actually just came out with kind of like a tri-folding bed cover that you could stand on, you could put weight on. So they actually called me to launch it. But I told them I didn't have a third gen Tundra anymore, unfortunately. But I liked the Paragon bed cover that I had. It was very easy to use. The only con with it was that it folded into itself, so you couldn't really like put stuff at the front of the bed of the truck. But it definitely did not leak as much as the one that I got from Real Truck, the rollback one on this Tundra here. And it held up very well in the Florida sun. This one has been on this Tundra for maybe 4 or 5 months now. definitely over the Florida summer. And I could see some fading and stuff on this one. The sticker already fell off and stuff of it. But that Paragon one, since it was made of like a high quality aluminum and made in the USA, which is wonderful, that was just so good with that truck. The quality was great on it. I enjoyed it for sure. But I am interested to see what their new one that they have is. Jay, how's it going, man? Slappy Slaps says, I've seen 5K mile GX Overtrail Plus on CarMax for 90 grand. Holy crap. That's way over MSRP and or reasonable. That's a way over MSRP. That's crazy. Because I think the GX Overtrail is like 82. 90 grand, that's wild. They are hard to find, but that's just way too overpriced. From CarMax. Come on. That's crazy. I'm torn. 5th gen 4Runner or 6th gen off-road premium. Thoughts? So that's a tough one because like the off-road premium of the current generation is as good, if not better, on paper than what the TRD Pro was of the last gen. So that's hard, but like it's tried and true. It's a nicer interior, like quality-wise of materials. So if that's the only concern, then I would go with the 5th gen 4Runner. But if you're just looking for more technology, a better driving experience, I would honestly pick the 6th gen. But the 5th gen, I mean, you could buy that TRD Pro, Alvin. If you don't like it, then trade it in eventually and probably not lose that much money. Because of all the TRD Pros, the 4Runner is the one that holds its value the most. And let's say in 10 years, or let's say in 5 years, like let's say you buy a 2024 TRD off or a TRD Pro 4Runner. In 5 years, if you decide to upgrade to a 6th gen, that 5th gen 4Runner Pro, in my opinion, will be worth more than that 6th gen 4Runner TRD off-road on the resale value. So you could experience both if you really, really want to. So we are getting caught up on the questions. I only have 3 here. So if you guys want to talk about anything else tonight, you guys totally can. I got Danny's question, Eric's question, and Ethalite for questions left. So feel free to throw them into the comments, guys. If you're just joining in, we will be in California in next month. I'm going to be driving around a TRD pre-runner Tacoma, which will be very fun, I hope, to give you guys my thoughts on that. And then I will be doing, what else did I have in April? I thought I had something else in April. Oh, New York Auto Show. And then in May, we're going to be doing the More Expo. And then I have a Toyota event that I'm going to be doing, which will be a lot of fun. Ton of cars to showcase for you guys there. And yeah, some other new stuff from Toyota, which will be cool. And then there's also the Toyota Jamboree in May, the Overland Expo West in May. A lot of good stuff to be doing like this year. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And also trying to purchase a house in the West Coast. I think that would be good for the channel, for content for you guys. And then more mods for all these vehicles coming. I'm sitting on a lot that I need to get installed in the next 2 weeks. So I really, really hope that you guys enjoy modification videos, because there may be a lot. And they won't be like install videos, how to install this and that, because those don't do the best on YouTube anymore. And it's not that it's all about the likes and the views and stuff, and I only do stuff for views, but a lot of these companies now, they just have their own install videos, where in the past when I started YouTube, companies didn't really have their own install videos. So that's kind of why I made them. But now, you know, I kind of do hybrid of install videos and then just showcasing the products for you guys and then using them and stuff. So Danny says, I would like to see if anyone has towed an enclosed trailer or an RV camper with the new 6th gen 4Runner. Standard or hybrid, and MPG specs and what octane fuel. It will probably get like 12 to 13 miles per gallon, I would think, with a heavier trailer. My trailer setup that I showcased for you guys, I would like to get that thing weighed with the tent on it, the gear on the inside, but I think I'm probably close to 2,500, 3,000 pounds or so with that. Maybe on the lower end, maybe closer to 2,500. And the 4Runner towed it just fine. It had no idea that it was back there at all. So we're going to take that trailer to Texas when we go to Texas with it, throw a whole cow in it. Cow's going to be about 400 pounds or so. So we'll have 400 pounds in that trailer and then tow it back. It'll be a good drive. I was very, very stoked with how the 4Runner drove. And the more and more people that get these 4Runners, I'm sure that we'll see people towing boats with them, people towing their small campers and everything. Because these new 4Runners, Toyota says, can tow upwards of 6,000 pounds, which is more than this 5th gen behind me. So that should be pretty cool to see. Sounds good, Eric. Appreciate that. Any significant noise difference after upgrading the tires? Been wanting to upgrade to 285s. Depends on the tire that you get and also the load rating that you get on the tire. So the load rating that I got is pretty much like a passenger tire for mine. So they're not super heavy. They are a smidge louder. A smidge, like if anything, louder than the Falcon Wild Peaks that came on the vehicle, but they are not like that much louder at all. They are an all-terrain tire, so it all depends on the tread pattern too. So if you're looking to get 285s, that's cool, but are you going to get mud terrains, hybrid tire, all-terrains? It truly depends on the tire, what type of tire, and what brand, because there's certain brands that are cheap and they're loud, and then there's other brands that are good, high quality, nice soft tire that really aren't that big of a difference. So I like the ones that I put on. They are not really loud at all, if anything. Like you could tell that there's a little bit different of a tire on it, but they're not like, let's say the mud terrains, right, that I put onto the Tacoma. So those Arroyo mud terrains, they're an E-load rated tire, so they're super heavy. It's a mud terrain, so it's super thick, and it's loud compared to the stock tires for that. So that's just one example. Never thought I would cross shop a 6th gen TRD Pro and a GX Overtrail, but I am. I like the aggressive look of the TRD Pro, but I want the pamperedness of the GX 550. Well played, Toyota, well played. So that's that whole price ladder that I've talked about, right? Of 4Runner starting at 40 grand, because when the Land Cruiser came out, people are like, where's the 4Runner going to be at? Well, the 4Runner is going to be at 40 grand. Starts with the SR5. Then you could get into a TRD off-road that's knocking on the door of a Land Cruiser grade. It's cheaper than a Land Cruiser 1958, but then it's knocking on the door of the Land Cruiser. So to someone, they're like, well, why would I get a 4Runner TRD off-road if I could get a Land Cruiser for the same price? And it'd be a different vehicle, better quality interior for the most part, right? Better quality of materials on the Land Cruiser when I could just get a 4Runner TRD off-road. Then it's like, well, shit. If I'm at $65,000-ish for a Land Cruiser, why would I not get the top of the line 4Runner for $67,000? Well, hey, now I'm here at $67,000. Why would I not just go to Lexus? So now Toyota just made you from a Toyota owner to a pampered Lexus owner. And once you're in a Lexus, it's hard. That's probably why I don't want a GX, is because once I've experienced the Lexus dealerships, once I've experienced the quality of a Lexus product, hopefully, it'll be hard to like go back to a Toyota and be like, ooh, which first world problems, right? But yeah, the aggressiveness of the 4Runner TRD Pro, the stance of it, the wider fenders, it's a badass looking truck for sure. But that GX Overtrail, man, I am all about the GX Overtrail. It is so cool, so good. Neil Murray says, hey, I'm so happy with my 4Runner. Everest color. We're in Ocala, Florida. Congrats, man. The Everest color looks so good on the 4Runner. That was my top choice for a 4Runner color, but the Heritage Blue just so happened to come in first. And I am happy that I got the Heritage Blue because I clearly like blue vehicles. But yeah, that Everest, man, it looks so good. Congrats on the new 4Runner. That's awesome. Got a Land Cruiser premium package deal for 65. Holding on a deposit, is that a good deal? I think it is, because the Land Cruiser premiums can get upwards of $68,000 to $69,000. I think that's a pretty good price, Chris, because Land Cruisers have been had under MSRP right now. So if I'm thinking that that's a premium with a couple things on it, you probably got it for a couple $1,000s under MSRP, which should be good. So that goes back to what I'm saying, is like, you got a premium Land Cruiser for 68. People could get a Tier D Pro 4Runner for like 67, and then the GXs start at like around 70. So that's just that whole Toyota price ladder to get you up there. FSEP says, do you know if the new Ironman 2.5 shocks will have adjustable lift? On their site, I only see a 3-inch lift option. I don't know if they're going to be adjustable. I'm sorry. I'll have to get that information when I install it onto whatever vehicle I'm going to install them on. But I don't think that there's adjustable heights on it, but there may be up top. I'm not 100% sure. Corvette owner says, hello, I bought a Sequoia 2024 from US. I'm in the Middle East. Do you have any place to pay parts? No, I don't know. Maybe some. Well, if you're in the Middle East, there's a bunch of companies out there that do stuff. I've seen for Land Cruisers, Sequoias, all that. It would probably be more cost effective to ship all that stuff, or to get all that stuff local versus ship. And Mickey Thompson, yeah, I've heard great things about Mickey Thompson's tires for sure. Blue STI says, thanks for answering my questions about the offset. No worries, dude. Flex says, John, what's a good website to get cool Toyota swag, patches, stickers, etc.? Check out YotaMafia. They have a bunch of cool swag for shirts and stuff. My code TRDJohn5 will save you guys 5% over on YotaMafia. But a lot of these cool companies, like, so if you like, Tacoma stuff, there's Tacoma Lifestyle, there's Tacoma Beast, 4Runner Lifestyle, Trail 4Runner. We all have like swag and patches and stuff. I will be launching a website soon for patches, Toyota focused, I guess. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do shirts yet. I may just do patches and stickers and like jet tags for keychains, but I want it to be good quality stuff and not just like drop shipped. So it'll be a process. We may test out the website. I have 25 patches of my own. I have 25 patches of these left. So maybe we will start the website with these. This is just the OG 4Runner, kind of like a Miami Vice style color. I may try to redo this patch or something if people like it, but I think that's how we'll start the website out, just to kind of see, one, if 25 people even care. We'll do that, and then if it seems to be a hit, then we'll just slowly do that stuff. But yeah, Flex, YotaMafia, my code TRDJohn5. If that doesn't work, it may be TRDJohn. Let me know. Well, you can let me know whenever. And then yeah, Tacoma Beast for Tacoma stuff, 4Runner Lifestyle, Trail 4Runner, Tacoma Lifestyle. The Cali Rays dudes have some stuff too. Like pretty much all these sites, they have their own kind of Toyota swag and everything. Cav blue over heritage blue. Yeah. So like them side by side, or them by themselves, they look the same, but like you can see just with this garage light hitting it, heritage blue is more like gray blue, and Cav blue, it has more blue hue to it. So it depends on the vehicle, man. It really depends on the vehicle. I think that the 6th Gen 4Runner, it looks really good in heritage blue. I told myself that if for 2024 Toyota came out with heritage blue on the 4Runner as like a heritage edition or something like that, like they did with the Land Cruiser to give it away, or to stop production on it, I would have probably sold this 4Runner for that, because it would have been like the last year of the 5th Gen. It would have had all like the modern tech, but still old. I did consider that, but they never came out with the color. But then 2025, they came out with it for it. And it was like the perfect recipe to have a vehicle. So MX5 says that I went to Big Bear this last weekend, talked to a gent with a GX 550, and it was gorgeous. Yeah, it looks way better in person than it does on camera. On camera, it looks cheap. It doesn't look like the interior is high quality, but it's one of those vehicles you actually have to see in person and sit in and touch the materials, and you're like, wow, this is pretty nice. Casey, thanks so much, man. Have a great night. We are almost going to wrap up. We've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes or so, so I think we will be hopping off soon. I usually do the live streams at 7 o'clock, but we had a couple of things to do that I knew would push me past 7, so I just did it at 7:30. But we typically do them at about 7 o'clock for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we're right at an hour and 40. So we'll probably go to an hour and 45 minutes. So we'll do 5 more minutes of the live stream. So whatever other questions you guys have, just go ahead, throw them in there. I think that the price of the GX over the Land Cruiser is 100% worth it. I agree with that. Don't get me wrong, like I've enjoyed this Land Cruiser. I just think that there's some aspects of it that Toyota should have done differently. They should have put acoustic glass on it, not this thin, crappy glass. It should have had the V6 in it like the GX does. Just not that this engine's bad. I just thought that it would be a better thing for them to differentiate this from the 4Runner as well. And just a couple things like the plastic on the bumpers, it should have been paint matched and stuff. So I just think that the GX was done so tastefully and so nice. Not that the Land Cruiser is absolute garbage, but it's just like, you know, when you start getting up there in price, you just want some different things on the vehicle. Just got the Heritage Blue last month, putting 35s on it soon with Peak Design lift kit. Heck yeah, that'll be good, dude. Man, Heritage Blue, right, looks just so good. New Honda Passport does look sweet. I do like that car. It is a car, but not a truck. So, you know, it's a unibody, but Honda definitely did a good job with it for sure. For those that don't want a big old truck. I think that I lost you guys at first. Thoughts on Nitop's fender flares? They look sick. Carbon fiber and everything looks really cool. I'm interested to see what they come out with the 4Runner. How does the 6th gen backseat compare to the 5th gen? I feel like it's the same, but on Sunday, I'm going to have the 4Runner 6th gen versus 5th gen 4Runner video go live for you guys. We'll have measurements, we'll have seating position, drivability, all that stuff in that video. Blue STI says, when first starting out doing your own YouTube, how many videos should I be uploading? Like a couple of week? I would say, yeah, a couple of week would be good. And record like 5. Record 5 videos, start the channel, post 1 every other day or something like that. Because when you start a YouTube channel, YouTube now wants to make sure, 1, you're going to be consistent with it, and 2, that you are, consistent with it, and that you're not just posting and dipping, and that you're in your comment section and stuff too. And then when you're in your comment section, see what people like, see what people don't like, to find the niche eventually that your channel will be. The reason I say do 5 videos is because if you do your first video and it doesn't get the views that you want, you're going to be defeated and you're not going to post another video. But if you already record 5 and you schedule them out and you do it, then 1 may do good, 1 may do bad, 1 may do great. And then you just keep doing it. YouTube likes that you posted multiple videos and stuff. And like, now is no better time to start doing content on all these platforms, especially if you're a new creator and you're going to be consistent with it. So that's my advice. And then just enjoy it. Like, don't do it for the money. Money is a byproduct of everything. So like, if you enjoy doing it, the money will come. And again, it's not all about the money, but money's nice, right? So it's all a byproduct of it. And speaking of money, bro, Chris, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Again, you guys don't have to donate. I truly freaking appreciate it. It means a lot, you know, especially right now. Like, that's a freaking dozen eggs. So I truly appreciate it. He says, thanks again for answering questions and your content. Dude, all the time. What I love about these live streams is that, like, it allows us to kind of be more one-on-one versus in the comments where I just reply back to people or heart people's stuff. But doing these live streams is cool, even though, like, I'm not sitting with you guys physically. Like, we're all here, you know, and asking questions about everything. It was very Toyota heavy today, but we did get some modification questions in. What type of vehicles should I buy? All that stuff. So clearly it's a car-focused channel, which I do enjoy, but these live streams are awesome. And I especially like doing the live streams when I kind of take a little absence because of travel and I don't have videos backed up like I should. So I definitely do enjoy these live streams for that regard. And if anyone donated and you're still here over on Facebook, I can't see the stars here, unfortunately, but just know that I appreciate you and that I will get back to your comments and your donations tomorrow. So thank you so freaking much. And a couple more questions. We just hit an hour and 45 minutes, so we will wrap up. Saihan says, Chris, thank you so much, man. Truly freaking appreciate it. Got a 25 Land Cruiser last month and love it, but I noticed some rattles in the driver side front doors similar to what you had initially. Do those eventually go away, or do you still hear it? I still hear it, and don't hate me for saying this, but it gets worse as it kind of rattles and ticks and all that stuff. So it may get a little worse. Nip it in the bud real quick. Go to your dealership. Let them know about it. The more of us Land Cruiser owners that let our dealerships know that these things have rattles, hopefully the quicker they get fixed and that Toyota makes them better. I'm glad that you guys enjoy the live streams, man. That means a lot. It's fun. It's nice to, like, not edit a video and get it uploaded and worry if you guys are going to enjoy it or not. Like, the live streams are just chill. They're very chill. We get to just hang out, BS, and all that. It would be cool if the 1958 came with a 4-liter 6-speed from the LCs. Yeah, so that's crazy too, right? Is that in the United States, like, we only get certain engine options, but you can get a Land Cruiser 300 series overseas with this 4Runner's engine in it. There are so many different engine options overseas. You could get this Land Cruiser with a turbo diesel in it. You could get this Land Cruiser, I think, with a 4-cylinder in it overseas, maybe not. Or you could get it with just the normal 2.4 turbo and none of the hybrid stuff with a third row. So, like, it's kind of crazy how Toyota, like, selects different cars and different engines and different features overseas versus you're kind of like, that would be better in America. Like, why didn't you guys do that here? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Just joined the 4Runner family with a 2024 TRD Pro and Terra. Nice. Super rare. Like, because that color did not make its way over to the 5th Gen 4Runner. So very rare. If you want a Terra 4Runner, that is the only one in the future that you would be able to buy is a TRD Pro. That is so freaking cool. Congrats. That's awesome. Michael says, hey, TRD John from Ontario, Canada. Mike, what is up, man? Hope it's slowly starting to warm up there. And you guys are enjoying it. And Nicholas says, love your content. Well, I love your guys' support. Thank you so much, guys, for an amazing live stream tonight. We've been on for almost 2 hours now. You guys are freaking awesome. A lot of content coming this week and a lot of events coming as well as we kind of pivot to more like lifestyle content, but still focused around the vehicles, which you guys do enjoy, it seems like. And then since Aaron just got here, I'll throw this last one up here. Says, hey, John, just got here. I don't know if you talk about crazy prices for the new 4Runner. I hope people understand to not buy this thing until Toyota realizes they need to bring them down. It starts at $40,000. They are crazy high compared to the last Gen 4Runner, for sure. But, you know, just wait till the dealership has a lot of them on their lots and make deals, man. Make deals. That is the way to go about it. They priced it where the competition's at. I think that this thing was cash cowed and a little too much. Like, as a Toyota enthusiast, the fact that I paid $43,000 for this in 2017 and the same 4Runner that pretty much did not change until 2025. So in 2024, this was another 10 grand more for the same car. I'd be more upset about that, honestly, than new vehicle prices. But go to the dealerships, work hard, for what you want, and negotiate and stuff. So yes, vehicle prices are absolutely insane, but at the same time, I cannot buy a house in San Diego like my grandma did for 12 grand. So it's crazy just with the way everything is. So guys, I appreciate you all coming in here. Michael says that I'm just jealous up here in Canada. All the best to our American friends. Heck yeah. Yeah, it's nice and warm here, bro. 70 degrees. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. We are completely different system here in the United States. But yeah, we appreciate everyone. Appreciate the whole chat. You guys, thank you so much for coming on out. And I hope, sorry, a couple more popped up. Yep, hey you, the 4Runner headlights are actually very good. Recommended first upgrade, always window tint. I enjoy window tint. Especially living here in Florida, it's one of those subtle modifications to make a vehicle look really, really good. And then wheels and tires, obviously, like if you can swing that, because those are pretty pricey, but it definitely changes the whole look of a vehicle. But guys, I appreciate you all coming out. Have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you on the videos and in the comment section of the next one. So guys, have a great night. Thank you.